All right, we got the replay review of the first CEA matchup of the season. We played against a really tough team here from IBM, the Bars. They've consistently been in the top five in the past three CEA seasons. Um, I was coming in cold. I had not played in a week. I had just gotten back from Hawaii. Aaron had not been playing much either. Zito had been playing a lot, but he was just one out of our three guys. So to be honest with you, I was expecting to lose this, and it's fine. I I'm excited though to get into this replay and get better as the season goes on. I did tell the guys after this game that I was pretty disappointed with our comms. I really again I kind of expected to lose. I don't really care about losing, but what I thought was kind of inexcusable was how quiet we were on comms. I oftentimes felt like I was the only one calming. And I do think if you're in comms, like no comms, if you're in comms and quiet, it's worse than being in not in comms at all, if that makes any sense. Because when you're not in comms at all, you aren't trying to rely on listening to others. But when you are in comms and you're quiet, um, I just assume no one's going for the ball if they're being quiet, and I think that will lead to more double commits, less proper spacing on rotations, all that stuff. So one of the action items I think is we need to work on our comms here, and then we're going to go through this replay here. We ended up winning this game. This was game one. I do think we got a little bit lucky. We got destroyed in the next three games, and I wanted to replay review this game one because despite winning, right, I think there's going to be a lot of spots that are, you know, actionable to learn from. Right. So, and plus, this was kind of our only close game as well. Let's get into it here. I'm going to try and be a little bit quicker. The last replay reviews have been like 40 minutes. I'm first here. I decide to let that go to Aaron. Decide to turn up. Let's see where Zito is here. Yeah, I think this is a good cut by me. All right, so right here I kind of have. So here, right, I decide I can't really challenge this, so I'll let Aaron challenge the wall. Then right here, it's like, okay, if Zito is like, this is a comp thing again, if Zito is closer to the mid-right boost, he might want to take second man here. Right, but I think I just feel Zito's further back. I decide to cut the second man, able to beat one of the opponents here. Kind of a decent opportunity here. This is an advantageous situation. I think ideally my touch will bounce out a little bit more here. I think it's fine for Aaron to. This is a little bit of a dive from Aaron here, but again, it's an advantageous situation. So if he gets any sort of 50-50, it could result in a goal for us if Zito's in a position to follow up. So I think it's a good decision. Looks like I think this is decent rotations here. Zito decides to come behind me, which is fine. He might be low boost. Whoops, let's see where he is. Pretty low boost, yeah. So I think he wants me to challenge for him, which I think is completely fine in this spot. I end up interrupting their passing play. This is a great play by Donnie here. So let's check him out. He's on the near post here. This might be a little ambitious, actually. Yeah, so they actually have a little bit of a gap in their rotation here between Donnie and the last man. So Donnie's kind of in a tough spot here if Aaron's able to quickly center this. And this is a really nice play. So not only does he have good mechanics off the wall here, Savix, and this is kind of a concept that I talked about last season. It's called extension. So Savix, first man, pressures the ball here. Great pass by Zito to find Aaron on the wall. I'm hoping that's intentional. Rather than immediately rotate back, Savix decides to linger upfield just for a hot second, right, which allows him to be available for a pass from Donnie. Hopefully this kind of makes sense. Like I think this when he sees Genstam, properly positioned on the back post here, it's definitely okay to linger for a second. Wait for that pass. That concept's called extension. Let's go back to my view here. Double commit here. So I end up getting this interrupted. Zito's behind me. I'm challenging for Zito here. Not the greatest touch for me because I drop it down into position where the opponents can follow up, right? And then, yeah, this is just double commit that hopefully will clear up. I think ideally, let's go to Aaron's view here, right? So if Aaron is going, right, he's probably looking to pass this to Zito, I would hope. I think what might be best here is if Aaron starts turning upfield, right, and I can maybe pass to Aaron or Zito, kind of have two passing options here. Which is a little bit aggressive, but the opponents were a bit on their heels there. A little bit of a space, like so this bump ends up causing a little bit more of a gap here. I could have been better to avoid this. There was also a little bit of I think I decided for a second if I wanted to extend for a pass, but when I saw this, I think it didn't really make sense for me to, so I just decided to rotate back. Let's go to Aaron's POV. I think he's getting a little too close. Like you see, like you're last man here. You're cheating up to the near post as last man, and then like you're still not close enough to even make a play on this, right? So you're cheating up too close, and then you're still not even close to go here. So definitely a tough spot. Like, and this is probably on me for making you in a tough spot here, right? So ideally, I'd come behind you a little bit more, and you would be able to push up further, right? Ends up working out though. Like, so despite the gap here and despite me getting bumped, I'm still able to get in the proper, path for that ball. Nice, get two touches here, right? Great spot to go for a two-touch play. Extending upfield here. Not the best, right? So ideally, I think, yeah, just a mechanical thing maybe where Aaron can make me go a little bit more center, but I try to go for a back pass on Zito. It ends up just kind of resulting in the opponent's ball there. But again, like if I don't touch this, it's going to be the opponent's ball anyway. So I think the idea is good there. The execution just didn't work. Don't like how Zito is just immediately rotating near post here. Right, you see Aaron. This is Aaron's very well positioned for this, right? Like not necessarily well positioned to 50-50, but well positioned to like stop a shot here. He might be a little slow as well. Yeah, he's got no boost. But yeah, kind of like I think Aaron ideally is a little faster there, and then Zito. For me, it doesn't really make any sense to drive. Like you could cut rotation here, right? That's a fine option, right? You might turn back so Aaron's a little further away, so you decide to cut rotation and challenge this ball for Aaron, right? But what you end up doing instead is driving like you're going to cut rotation, and then you go behind Aaron, right? And so that causes confusion there. Now it looks like a tough spot, right? So again, hopefully that makes sense there. Now we're in a tough spot. Aaron, yeah, I like again, it's kind of tough, like because you probably think Zito's driving to challenge this, and so all of a sudden now you have to turn out. So I kind of understand why this is so awkward now. And then we're all triple committing. Let's go to my POV. I think I thought Zito might miss this or something. That should have been a goal from them. What the fuck happened here? I think I got a little bit faked out with Donnie's touch. He ended up just hitting his wheels. Yeah, so I think this is a comps thing again. Like Aaron knows he admitted he was pretty quiet, but I need like a confident I go on this to call me off because I don't know if Aaron's back post or near post here from my POV. I like how he so Aaron's first here. right? He recognizes he's just going to get beat to this, so all he's doing is essentially forcing a hard clear and not committing himself, right? He doesn't jump off, he doesn't flip. And then me as second man, like I'm trying to play for Aaron getting a 50 and it kind of dribbling out to this, in between me and Saviox. And so when this happens, right, it's kind of like this is again a comps thing, and I think I remember maybe Zito and I did a decent job here. Like I need Zito to immediately say I go or you go here, right? So I know. And I think we ended up having him go. Right, I decide to cut Aaron here. Looks it leads to a double commit. So in my mind, like I'm cut. Again, this is another comps thing, right? So I'm thinking Aaron's rotating back to three. Now we're both like in his mind, he's second man, I'm second man, right? We both go for this, right? Like I need a confident I go, like right about here when he wants to go for this to call me off, because he's in the back. Like the person for like furthest back from the play needs to be the one calming because they can see everything. If that makes sense. Like I don't know where Aaron is, right? So I need him to tell me. Try to get a demo on Donnie here. What's this? So Aaron decides to drive near post here. It's a little dangerous, like because Zito and I are both near post now. Like, if Zito doesn't get the like, if Donnie ends up obviously Zito ends up getting a pretty clean touch, but like if this ball dribbles out into the middle, like this is just a goal because Aaron decides to drive near post here. That ends up kind of working as well because like I go be like I must see that Aaron's coming near post and then I decide to drive behind him. Like I think when I get to about here, like I'm expecting to see Aaron at the back post and I don't. Nice two touch play by Zito. See now it's a little awkward here again. Right, there's too much space here between the rotations. There's something's a little off there. So I'm three now. I think I misread this ball a little bit. Just get beat by Saviox. Yeah. I think I was just a little too close to this, so then I ended up having to go more up and losing momentum. Okay. Let's see how we defend this. So now I'm taking a while. Pretty bad recovery, honestly. Aaron does well to reverse it. Still three. Interesting Zito play here. This is a little bit confusing to me. Like, I think he wants to take this mid boost and turn, right? Like, he should know that I'm going to be right around this area, right around the left mid boost right here. Like, he should not be driving into my space here because now we're both covering the same options. If that makes sense. Like again, like the spacing thing, right? We need to be properly spaced so we can cover more options. Like he's second man and he's probably a little uncomfortable because he's low on boost here. Right, but in my POV, right, like again, he's driving into my spot. I'm probably thinking he wants to grab this mid boost and turn or whatever, and then he grabs it and just comes behind me. Now what results now because of this is there's too much space between Aaron and the second man. Right, so they end up it's just like, okay, well, they're just gonna touch it over me now. And now Zito's last man ends up getting a ball that's pretty easy to clear. Goes for a two touch play, which I like. Also, what are these camera settings, dude? The camera is so close to your car. It's fine though, no judgment. Okay, I'm coming back slow, third man rotation here. Probably should have speed flipped. Savix decides to go over me, which is a nice play. Yeah, these guys are pretty good mechanically. Nice demo attempt by Donnie here. Like I kind of have to like try to, I think I might have tried to jump over him or something. I'm second man here. Go for a 50. Kind of just end up hitting around him. Go for kind of a dunk, I end up just missing. But I think this is probably a good spot to go for it because they're not fully set as a defense. Saviox is still rotating back right now. Genstam, you can see he's facing the net. Like this was a little bit of a moment here where a potential center could have had some good scoring opportunities. Pretty bad recovery again. I think the bump kind of messed me up. Decide to go for a boost here. Now there's a lot of space between. Good cut by Zito here. So you see he recognizes the space here, right? He decides to cut. And ideally maybe he cuts this a little harder. Like right about here. He's turning. Then he turns like a half second later. Ball ends up coming on my side. Where's my I think I wanted to try to pass this to Aaron off the wall or something. That ends up happening, right? And I drive a little bit too close. I think I don't really give them credit. Like probably here I'd break and wait, maybe cheat up into midfield. I'm more close to midfield here in a better position to go off of this. Go for the pass to Zito here. Like there's a lot of space here, right? Nice. I like the idea going for a two-touch play. Ends up not working out. Pretty poor by me. I think I freak out a little bit. I kind of have to freak out with Jen Stam's positioning for a shot, right? So I think the freak out here is a little excusable, right? Makes sense. But this is a poor touch, right? I need to hit this more to the side. Staying as 3 here. It's a really nice touch. I think I just misread this off the corner. All right, so this is my ball. This is on me. This is a very powerful touch by Genstam here. I definitely wasn't expecting this. I think I thought this would bounce more down at the time. All right, this is definitely my ball. And you can see like I'm well positioned for this and everything. It's just this is more reading it off the corner here. And I think I end up covering the angle pretty well. I don't know if this was intentional by Donnie. If it is, he's an absolute legend. Yeah, it was. Or maybe he just got a little bit too close. But I think I'm maybe 50-50 if I block this from Donnie. He ends up going for this back pass that's just pretty cracked, honestly. Yeah, maybe it would have been saved if Cito turns properly here. No real reason to turn upfield here. Um, this is definitely turn. You see how you turn to the right here? Like this is definitely turning left. Maybe it would have been back in time. But yeah, I think like in general, that was like a dicey situation that we need to turn more defensively. Just gonna get beat here, so just trying to force Donnie to not have all the time in the world. That was a tough spot off kickoff there. Yeah, a little bit. So you're a little bit too close here. Go for a boost. Right, so this is a position where when Donnie gets this touch, you need to be more back post. Like your last man, right? And when Donnie gets the touch, you're in the net. Right, so just kind of imagine. Let's go to the Y cam. Okay, so you're here. Oh, let's go back up. Last man, last man, last man. Don't be cheating up too far here. So maybe like this is the speed, right? This is the speed. You're almost like slowing down. Then you're here, right? Much more better positioned. You might want to drive up the wall. You might just aerial for it, right? But the idea is as soon as you come in here, right, you're limiting your movement options. You know what I mean? Like, don't be too concerned about this jumping into the corner here. Like, your concern is the net. Ends up working out. That looks like Aaron gets a amazing block. Well done. A little bit of a tight rotation there by Aaron. Probably a little bit wider, right? So again, when you rotate back to third now, right, you're not covering the far post anymore. You know what I mean? You're covering now just kind of the middle of the net and the near post. You're not covering the back post anymore. So, right, so this happens, and there's no real threat here, right? Well, I mean, obviously there's always a threat, but properly positioned, right? We have good defensive position, so like pad, 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 and then you're here, right, rather than being up here. These guys had really nice passing plays. So Jen Stam goes for a touch he can follow. It's a nice play. Like this is kind of like a tough spot, right? A lot of people in my rank don't really make good plays from here. It's a pretty nice play. Two touch play that his teammate can follow up. Pretty well done by the team here on the rotations, right? Aaron's first, Zito aggressively positioned as second here, right? Lets this fall for me. And I'm well positioned for this as well. I just end up I'm making excuses. We were on East Coast servers. It was a little I was a little bit not used to it. I haven't played East Coast in a while. But I was very well positioned for this. See, as third man position in here. Well positioned to come in with momentum and power on this. Um, right. This could be like, if I'm cracked, maybe a double touch, just maybe some sort of air dribble or something like that. End up just getting kind of a poor touch. But what ends up good is that it kind of goes to a more spacious side rather than just kind of laying it up for Donnie right in front of him and make him work for it a little bit. I think Aaron was probably looking for a pass here, which is good, right? Little extension here for a second. And when he sees that, I think that I think both is fine here. When he sees that, it's fine to rotate back. It's also fine to cut and be first man on this. Don't think there's a right answer here. I think I have pseudo challenge. Good rotate, good recognition here. This might be a good comms, right? I think Tito does a good job. As second man, right? Low boost, staying there, making his presence known, knowing that he's probably not going to get a good challenge on this, right? But his job is just to make my life easy here, not giving them a lot of space to set this up. Really nice play by them to get this little passing play. End up just missing this. Yeah. I mean, these are tough whenever they're passing plays. Like, so I'm kind of like positioning for Saviox to just do a solo play. Right, and then the pass to Donnie, and Donnie hits it hard, kind of catches me a little off guard. Now you see how I'm a little bit too close to the midfield when this happens. Right, and that's because I was probably expecting Saviox to like go for a little air dribble or something. Right. But instead, because it's passing and now Donnie's touching, when Donnie makes this touch, I should be positioned like back here. Like it's my life's gonna be so much easier when I'm back here and Donnie gets this touch right. You can kind of see so much easier to clear this. Where now it's like I'm a little bit too close, so I have to come a little bit too underneath the ball, which causes me to lose momentum, right? And now I have to go for this like backboard read. Maybe a ghost hit, debatable there. Then I panic, go for a pre-jump save. But this was a bad spot for us, right? It's a bad spot that ended up like this probably should have been a goal, right? So there's kind of it probably should be 3-0 at this point, right? There's been two really good opportunities for them. Kind of a poor touch there. Like just basically gives them a perfect setup, which is exactly what you don't want to do as first man. As first man, it's like oftentimes you're not going to score, right? There's no potential for offense, and your job is more to not give your opponents a potential for offense. Gives him the perfect touch. Pretty slow. Now he's slow back because he misses the boost. But yeah, that probably should have been a goal. Saviox was a little bit too far up there, misses it, and then Genstam kind of misses his touch as well, and then misses that. A little bit of a like flipping into this ball is probably not good, right? You end up flipping and getting this really dead touch that you can follow, so it ends up working out very well. But like majority of times when you flip there, you're just going to be hitting the ball away. There's a lot of space in front of you to go for a two-touch play here. So I think I'm second here. Like so again, like this is the point of every player. We score a goal, but we did a lot of things wrong here, in my opinion. I'm positioned as second. This is maybe could be a little closer. And actually it ends up working pretty perfectly because I'm positioned where I can beat Donnie at the near post here. Donnie, let's look at his POV. And so he's coming back. He sees Genstam behind him, so he knows that he's in a tough spot now where he can't just like he needs to kind of he doesn't really have a good option here. He can't really rotate back post because he's making too much space between him and the first man. So he kind of needs to be here. Probably could have blocked this honestly. Let's talk about Zito here. So this happens. Don't know what this is. 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 He's third man here. And he should be back here. Right. Well, hopefully that stuff like that doesn't happen more. Okay, but we end up like again, we score a goal, but damn, we did a lot of things wrong there. Like in that whole sequence leading up to like how they should have scored a goal originally. Oh, look at that. Like this is kind of weird again here by Zito. Right, like interesting. Where like I think he just wants thirsty for this corner boost, and when he isn't there, he's just like, what do I do now? Like right here, you need to make a decision. Am I still first? Right? Do I cut and become second, or do I rotate back and become third? There's a lot of space here, right? There's no real offensive potential here. I'm third now. End up hitting it to space here. Probably just freaking out. Again, probably not a flip. Softer touch that I can get for touch line. I end up being able to get two touches again as well because I hit it. There's just so much damn space. Which let's go to Saviox POV. He's very poorly positioned as third man here. Don't know where he's going really. Like this is really again, this is like not our team, right? But this is he's in no like the reason that I have so much space now is because of Saviox's rotation to the mid right boost and then turning upfield, where it's like makes this challenge, right? This happens. Rather than drive to this boost, right? Pick up this pad, this pad, this pad, this pad, maybe this pad. Right now you've picked up 4 or 5 pads, you're around 50 boost or so, and you're in a position now where I don't have so much space, and you're just properly positioned as third man here. Like he would have been right there. Creates a potential like 3 touch play by me. I end up going for like this 50 could have been great for us. Don't know what Jen Stam is doing here. Jen Stam pushes up like so. Yeah, he's probably confused because of Saviox's positioning. Like he's expecting Saviox to be here, and then he sees Saviox there. He's like, "What the fuck?" And then ideally, right, he slows down and lets Saviox. Like he's fine to be slowing down more back post here, but then he cheats up way near post. So now it's like makes our offensive potential better to just hit it over them and score a goal. And 3 should be my goal. Looks like I go for 2. The idea is here, I think. Zito does a good job of letting me go. Aaron does a good job as first man to force the ball. Go for 2, then side flip. This was a pretty advantageous situation. One of us should be cutting rotation here. Let's see. Yeah, Zito. Nice job. Love it. So if I was able to get a 2 touch play there, but I don't because I suck, maybe it would have been a good opportunity for Zito to score. Pretty slow by me here. Little hesitation. I don't know what was happening here. Or I think I could have beaten Donnie to his ball potentially, or at least made his life more difficult. Yeah, there's a lot of space here. Pretty well positioned by Aaron. Right? He's pretty wide. Like makes his life pretty easy here. So I don't think it's the touch he wants. That's all. Like he knows this. Just hit this more to the side, or maybe even honestly a pass, right? Maybe a potential pass to me on the sidewall or something, and Donnie will probably be there to contest. A little bit of an extension cut opportunity. Let's check out their POV. What is this? I don't know what this turn is, dude. I don't know why he turns to the sidewall here. This is the dumbest thing. Okay. I don't know. I mean, not trying to roast our opponents. They destroyed us, obviously. But I mean, they still make mistakes. They end up trying to go for a soft touch. Not bad. Maybe a hair close. Maybe a hair too close to this. Right. That the problem is like if Saviox gets a really powerful touch on this, are you able to defend this if it's like if it's gonna go over your head, right? But you were pretty well positioned to that. Going for 2, I like it. I was in a position for the 50. All right. Um, this concludes the replay review. Yeah. So again, like even though we won this game, we probably should have lost by a couple goals, I think. Um, yeah, I think in the end they had 7 shots, we had 4, but their shots were much more. They had at least 2 shots that they missed that were like very high percentage scoring chances in my opinion. Um, and maybe one really high scoring potential chance that they didn't even like register a shot on net on. But anyway, yeah, hopefully, this was insightful to go through again. Like, and I recognize I might not be super correct on everything, but hopefully, like the thought process makes sense. And yeah, I do hope that we can work on our comms as the season goes on, just to clear up a lot of these situations. And like again, I'm fine with the losses, right? But it's like a lot of the stuff is like so easy to avoid in terms of like our rotation spacing with each other. Um, like, and we'll naturally the wins will come like once we clean that stuff up, and then obviously we're both Aaron and I were both pretty cold coming into this game. We hadn't played a lot recently. Um, yeah. Um, okay. Good replay review sesh. Yeah.